How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. We also got to drop the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the work week. Maybe you had maybe you had a stressful day. Maybe it was the market conditions. Well, you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. So here it comes. What concert costs only 45 cents? 50 Cent featuring Nickelback. Come on, that wasn't too bad. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is SOS and EBON. What I do in all my videos, we're going to be going over an agenda. And of course, you can find timestamps down below in the description as well. So the first thing that we're going to be covering is the recent press release that came out for SOS, which I feel was a great update. It was some great news to have. After we go over that, then we're going to be doing a technical analysis for both SOS and EBON. If these stocks do continue to pull back, where are those possible levels of support? And have we actually ended up reaching a bottom for one of these stocks? We'll be going into that further. And then after when that's done, we're going to be taking a look at recent institutional buys and as well as a short interest information for both of these stocks. Many of you ask me and tell me, hey, what are the institutions up to? What does the sentiment look like in regards to the short volume ratio? So we'll be covering that. And then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts and as well as a recap so you guys are prepared for Monday. So let's do it. So we're now on the PR Newswire. We're going to be taking a look at the recent press release that came from SOS. So SOS announces completion of phase 1 of EBON mine and receipt of 575 Ethereum mining rigs. SOS announced today that the first phase of the EBON mine has been completed and 575 sets of Ethereum cryptocurrency mining rigs have been delivered. SOS leased approximately 1,350 square meters of space from EBON hydropower station in Haijin County, Lizhou City, Sichuan in late March. SOS started the construction of a cloud cryptocurrency mining center and has recently completed the first phase of approximately 300 square meters, which can accommodate approximately 1,100 rigs. The previously announced purchase of 575 Ethereum mining rigs were received on May 7th. The company expects its team should be able to complete inspection and installation of these rigs in the near future. Upon completion of the installation and full online operation of all of these mining rigs, the company expects to obtain approximately 400 GH of Ethereum hash. Mr. Yangdang Wang, CEO of SOS, commented, "The overall plan of SOS's digital currency business is systematically designed around blockchain technology. EBON project is a model for us to obtain low-cost electricity in Sichuan and other southwest regions rich in renewable energy resources to expand our digital currency mining operations. The completion of the phase 1 construction and the delivery of 575 Ethereum mining machines lay a solid foundation for further success of our cloud cryptocurrency mining center in EBON. We expect our mining in EBON will provide us with multifaceted experience to continue our research, development, and commercialization of blockchain technology." So this is definitely great news for SOS, and I can't wait till they have things fully up and running. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for SOS, which ended up closing the day at $3.91, being down 1.26%. As far as where it tested on the low, it tested $3.87, and then on the high, testing $4.13. So one of the things that we want to go over, and we clarified this in the previous video, is how well it can hold up this area of support at $3.80. So the fact that we ended up getting down to $3.87, where we do have some support here at $3.85, was actually really good to see, and seeing that bounce, seeing it go back into the fours. But one thing to do understand is this $4 area is becoming an area of resistance for SOS, and it's also a psychological level. Once we're able to gain some steam and some momentum above $4, I could definitely clearly see us making that move, getting to that 410 and as well as that 420 area. If we continue to have this bearish pattern going into next week, then we could definitely look forward to seeing a retest of 380 and also a retest, even possibly getting down to 360. And I feel that's where the bottom is for SOS, and the fact that we've been seeing as far as of late, the SOS is really holding it down when it comes to the high threes in regards to the 390s and the 380s and so forth. So just know where that area of resistance is at 4. So where we want to see us is actually get above that 4, and we can start to look a bit more bullish and riding above that 21-day EMA there. Also, if you take a look down below here, down at the RSI, you definitely can see this stock is at a steal right now, being at 37. Anywhere in the 30s, that means we're getting a fairly good price. So if you do believe in SOS long term, that does provide some opportunities here. So as far as for next week, I want to see SOS get into the 4s. That would be great, preferably seeing it being around 420. But if it doesn't, I want to see that $4 area of support hold up, and also continuation. If it doesn't support, then I want to see that 390 and as well as that 380 hold up in regards to Monday. So we're on fintel.io for SOS, and we're going to take a look at institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So as of May the 7th, which is today, we have 4 institutions going with positions for SOS. So the first one being is Element Point Advisors going in with 30,000 shares. We also have PNC Financial Services Group going in with 4,000 shares. Cambridge Investment Research Advisors going in with 24,000 shares. And we have Saul Financial Services purchasing 40 shares. So of course, that being the low, but that's definitely great to see. We can also see from May the 6th and as well as April the 30th, institutions have been showing some bullish behavior in regards to SOS. And this is great to see because we know institutions are not going to invest in stocks as they do not see a potential in regards to their return on investment. So if we take a look at the short interest information, of course, this is from yesterday. And to give you a perspective, the short volume ratio is at 14%. So in regards to short squeeze potential, it's definitely not where it was in the past. As we know, 21% or higher is generally what we like to see. As far as short shares availability, it stands at 1.6 million, and the short ball free rate is at 12.56%. So what this means is anyone who is shorting SOS, you're definitely paying a hefty price, and due to the fact that they do not have a ton of shares available, has something to do with the short ball free rate that you're currently seeing. So as we scroll down the page and take a look at the short volume ratio, we can see right here that we confirmed already it was at 14 as of May the 6th. But if we take a look at May the 5th, it was at 25.78. So one thing to do keep in mind here and what's going on, SOS is definitely near a bottom here because as far as shorts are concerned, there's not as much interest there. So unless it starts making a move, getting healthy into that 450 to 470 area, I could see some of those shorts coming back. But for now, they're kind of taking their foot off the gas a little bit and just kind of waiting for another run up to come. That's what I'm actually seeing, and that's what my analysis is. For EBON, which ended up closing the day at $3.45, being up 4.23% on the day. On the low, it tested $3.32, and then on the high, testing $3.49. So it was great seeing that EBON actually ended up having a solid day, and it just shows that we have tested the bottom here at this $3.22 level. So if it did decide to pull back from where it's at, I would like to see this area of support actually continue to hold up. But the fact that we see now an increasing level of support, and we definitely looks like it's showing to have that support there right around 330, is something to keep an eye on, especially going into next week. And we want to see also how well it's able to hold up in this 340 range as well. One thing to do keep in mind and to keep into consideration, we are going to have some resistance here at $3.50. So once we're able to pass this $3.50 level, I will be definitely looking forward to a move getting up to here around the 360s and then making that move going into the 370s and reclaiming that 100 day. So that's something I would love to see next week. But if we do pull back, just no downward risk. I don't see it going below $3.22 because this definitely does look like the bottom. We know this is also a 52-week low. If we take a look at the RSI down below over here, it's right around 45, so just below fair value. Anyone who believes in the long-term prospects of EBON, I definitely do see an opportunity here. But from what I'm seeing, it's definitely like it's trying to be on a bullish trend. If it could just close out the day after hours at around 345, that'll be good. It'll be above the 21-day EMA. Then we'd have to look forward to what we end up seeing going into next week, which I'd love to see it actually come back and reclaim the 100-day over here at $3.81. So we're taking a look at fintel.io. We wanted to see the institutional ownership for EBON. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So as we can see here from May the 7th, we have an update in regards to BlackRock Inc. We can see they have an average share price here at $7.01. This is they already have a position in EBON already. Looks like they might be trying to average down, but one thing we can do take notice of the fact is in regards to shares, they have about 858,000 shares of EBON. So that's actually great to see overall in general. So that's what we're seeing. The last update in regards to institutions making new positions was back on April the 30th as well. We're going to take a look at the short interest information for EBON. So the short volume ratio stands at 26%. So that definitely does provide some short squeeze potential here. As we know, 21% or higher gives us that variable. What this looks like in perspective in regards to market volume. So out of 11 million shares that were traded yesterday, almost 3 million of those shares were traded short. Now, if we talk about short shares availability, it is around 1.2 million and the short borrow free rate is at 1.95%. So as we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, you can see there's been a big time jump. So on May the 5th, it was at 14.5. Let's just call that 15. And now where it's at on May the 6th being at 26, that is a big difference right there. So it'll be interesting to see what it will be later on today. And we'll see what happens in regards to price action next week. But I do see the fact that EBON was able to actually confirm its bottom, and I could see a move to the upside. So for my final thoughts for SOS and EBON, and let's start with SOS. It was definitely some great news that we ended up getting today. And it's also no surprise that institutions are also loading up on shares, especially even for today. So taking that into consideration, I know what you're probably saying. So why is the stock price going down? There's a lot of volatility in the markets, and we notice a lot of stocks are down overall in general. And also, if we take a look at some of the leaders like Mara and Riot, they did not have the greatest of days either. So once we see this with the information that we have in front of us, it definitely does show that, you know what, there is potential in SOS, and it's part of the reasons why I don't mind waiting out for those dips so I can take advantage of those pullbacks. And one thing you do need to understand, this is why it's so key that you actually believe in the companies that you're investing in, because then you'll be able to actually get through this particular period that we're in, because like I said, I still see more room for upside for SOS. In regards to EBON, we haven't been seeing any recent institutional ownership, with the last new position being on April the 30th. We did have an update for today in regards to BlackRock and maybe shifting around their position, but that is about it. Another thing to also be aware of, there is some short squeeze potential in this stock, but also we do need to understand of where the floor is. For now, for what it's looking like, it looks like it's at around $3.22, which is right at the 52-week low. If this area does break, then I would see $3 and I would be looking for a rebound going back to that $3.20 if it did touch 3. But for now, what it's looking like, that is the floor at $3.22. So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing how the price action is for EBON going into next week. I know there were a lot of large scale orders, so a lot of people who were purchasing, you'll see that up on the screen. So that's part of the reasons why I'm going to continue to remain patient here. Like I said in my previous videos, I have not been buying any shares of late because I'm being prepared for pullbacks, because when they do pull back a lot more, then that's when I'm going to start loading, because I do see these stocks will run up, especially since I believe Bitcoin will be hitting 100K before the end of the year or early next year. I'm down to hold these stocks for at least 1 year, and that's my game plan. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll be talking real soon.